This is TF from Team Pumpenstein, and I'm on a mission from Rod. Alright man, I showed you how to put these back together, but I'm going to show you a few more things, little tips and tricks when you put it back together, and a few things to do to make your Series 6 run optimally. Put the regulator back in, and again, 300 psi input on the regulator. Again, what I like to do is to polish up these two rods before they go back in. One thing that I'll do, and this bolt doesn't need it in the least, but after you play for a while, especially when you play in a sandy area, you'll get some striations on the bolt here. And what I use, and I keep in my kit, is 1,000, this might be a 2,000 grit sandpaper, old 1,000. And I'll polish off some of those striations to keep everything perfect. And that'll get a little bit dark, but then just wipe that back off, and you're good to go. And then when you get ready to put that bolt back in, a little bit of tri-flow on it makes everything fast. Super slick. Pumpenstein's been running that for years, and we have no problems with that. Never swells. Okay, so that goes on first. We'll put the grip frame on next. Long screw in the front, as I said in the other video. If you haven't seen those other videos, check those out. If you lose these screws, or you need to know where they go or anything else, go to www.pumpenstein.com. You can download the manuals there. Shipley actually doesn't have an official manual. I wrote an unofficial manual, and that's what we've been using. So Bill says it works, so we leave it alone. Put that back on. You're going to want a 1/8 Allen to tighten those down. Next thing is to knock your Loctite down, but then put on your pump. You can clean these holes out too with your Q-tips. These didn't look too dirty, so I pretty much left it alone. That should just be oil buildup anyway. Now notice how I'm doing that. Slide this on, and while I slide this on, I've got this canted to like this. You don't have to bend it much. Slides right over. And then you're going to want that to be tight. Bolt goes in next. It's got a little bit of tri-flow on it to make it fast. Again, make sure that that hole faces down. Unless it's your opponent's gun, then flip theirs over. I'm going to put this in next. That just gets tight, finger tightened down. Don't go crazy with this, man. Finger tighten this down. Let's see how I did with the lug. Well, it holds for now, so that's a good sign. Drop in your auto trigger cam and arm, and then the last screw to go in, and I'm quite surprised that I didn't lose more screws. I'm pretty good at that, is the auto trigger pin, and this one's held in, some of them are 1/8, this one's held in with a .050. Tighten that down, and let's see about the timing. It's pretty close, man. I'm going to drop that just a little bit to ensure that I'm getting good closure and good efficiency. That looks good. Make sure my macro line, I wouldn't replace this macro line. It comes from the factory with macro, and I think that it's just fine. Had little problems with macro over the years. Screw in my tank. Low pressure or high pressure works. Just make sure that it's regulating well and that it's efficient. I have good luck with Crossfire tanks. Aired up, no leaks. Good. And it fires just fine. That's it for the putting together the Series 6. That should get you there, man. It's pretty much everything Pumpenstein does. Polish things up, put it back together, keep it together with good lubrication. Just play hard with it, man. This gun was meant to be played with. If you got any questions, send them to tf@pumpenstein.com, or post them right here on YouTube. And that's it. Thanks a lot. for on our
That's all, folks.